Hello.
Hello, chat. Let's get into it.
Chat, what's going on?
Everyone's here.
If there's any breaking news, put it down in the chat. Hey,
Hey, lads!
Hey,
there he is. Hey.
there is Nick. Here he is. The Dragons Cup.
The music never gets old. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast, episode number 20 fucking 5. The shows have been great. It's been a great year for the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast. Just a little quick announcement as well. I've been getting a few messages about the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast. Will it continue in the off season? Probably not, but I would like to get to 30 episodes and then have it on again next year. So after this, there'll be 4 more weeks of the podcast. Obviously, the grand final will be next week. And then after that, I'll do a couple more episodes during the off season, and then I'll probably give it a rest for the podcast because there won't be a whole lot to talk about in the off season. But there still will be content on the channel, no matter what. The season will continue for me just because the NRL season ends. The grind continues. I continue, and no matter what, Rugby League 24/7. You might as well call me, but the show will go on no matter what. Hello to Sam and Pro Enzo Vids. Thanks for coming on the show tonight as always, lads. I'll start with you, Pro Enzo Vids. Mate, how was your day today?
Yeah, actually good, actually. Kind of started the day with getting the jab, the COVID vaccine.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And if you're wondering how it all went, it was fine. Like, I didn't have any reaction or, any of that sort of stuff. I mean, yeah, sore arm, that's pretty typical, isn't it? So it's just a sore
From
arm.
what I understand, I think most people get a sore arm, but it only lasts a day or two, I'd rather get the jab than sit there and watch NRL 360 with Paul Kent and Buzz and James Hooper.
Fair point. Fair point.
I guess, it is what it is. And, you made the decision to go get the jab. So fair play to you, mate. Sam, mate, how was your day today, brother?
Yeah, smooth, bro. Just can't keep up with the weather down here in Canberra. One day it's bloody hot, the next day it's bloody half snowing sort of thing. But besides that, yeah, no, I'm going to get into the topics tonight, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show as always. And guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. You won't be disappointed. Like the goddamn stream because it's very good to like. It's very important to like the stream as well. Don't dislike it. If you do, then I hope you choke on a watermelon or something. But anyway, guys, sit back with your glass of Coke or your packet of chips or your block of chocolate, or if you're over there in England, like Rugby League History and John and Daniel Bate in the chat, then hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great morning over there in England, over there in the UK. But let's get into it, lads. There's a few things we've got to get into tonight, but we'll start off with topic number 5. And we've been doing it, obviously, every week of the finals this year. Our week 1 favourite NRL finals games, our week 2 semi-final top 5 favourite games. Tonight we're going to be doing our top 5 favourite preliminary final games that we've seen and that we've loved over the years. I'm going to start with you, Pro Enzo Vids. Your top 5 favourite preliminary finals from 5 to 1. I'm looking forward to hearing what your list is.
All right, so going from 5 to 1, I've got... Now, this is a bit of an interesting one. I don't expect many people to really consider this one, but I did. And that was the Raiders versus Rabbitohs game in 2019. I thought that was a great preliminary final, actually, because there was a full crowd there in Canberra. Obviously, it was the Raiders' first grand final in ages when they beat the Rabbitohs on that day. And no, it was just good to see the Raiders, get their grand final, book a grand final spot. And it was a great game. I just thought the quality was really good, and I thought it was a bit underrated as a preliminary final, to be fair. Going from number 4 now. Now this will be, I'm sure you and Sam will be happy about this one, but that's the Roosters and the Cowboys game in 2017 at Allianz Stadium. But that game I saw live at home, obviously, and yeah, it was a great game. That was because no one gave Cowboys a chance. I think Cowboys were like massive outsiders, and
$4.50.
yeah, $4.50 exactly, and just for them to, I guess, win, just come from making eighth in 2017 and making the grand final was just unbelievable. And that game was really good, I thought. Number three, this was a great game, and I really like this game. It was fantastic. It's the Storm the Warriors 2011. That game was really good, I thought, just because Storm choked. That was the best thing, but also it was good to see Warriors make the grand final. I think seeing Warriors get there, like a new team that doesn't get there that much, it was good to see them get the win in the last second. Sean Johnson magic, pretty much from that point. Number two, obviously got to pick a Manly one, and that's Manly versus Rabbitohs in 2013. In that game, we were like down. I think was it 14-0, 14-0, yeah. And then we scored a try before half time, and then it was like 14-6. And then yeah, I think everyone was predicting the Souths to go the whole way, but Manly sustained the game and ended up winning 30-20. And the best one, in my opinion, I've got the Broncos and Manly game. Going back in 2011, that game. So that one was a really good game. Obviously, Broncos had no Darren Lockyer, but I don't think it caused a big difference, to be honest, because I think Manly were unstoppable that year. And yeah, that was a great win as well. So that's my top five right there.
I like your top five. When you say Darren Lockyer wouldn't have made a difference, I completely disagree with that. It was his last year, and if you go back and watch that game in 2011 between Manly and Broncos in that preliminary final, the Broncos had a very, very different halves combination to what they had the previous week where they beat St. George in that nail-biting game. If they had Darren Lockyer, that game it could be a field goal shootout between young DCE and Darren Lockyer. But
yeah,
I think that preliminary final would have been unbelievable if Lockyer was there. But unfortunately, injuries happen. But great top five, Matt. I think you've done really well. Sam, your top five from 5 to 1, mate.
Sure. 1998, Bulldogs versus Parramatta. Parramatta were way up. Maybe. And the Bulldogs came back, left the scores just before full time. And don't let the 12-point deficit fool you. 32 points to 20 was the final score. It went for 10 minutes extra. You'll see one of the greatest field goals you've ever seen in that game as well. It's one of the best games of footy I've ever seen, man. And there's another edition of Canterbury versus Parramatta, and that's in 2009, where this time Parramatta beat the Bulldogs. The lead up to that preliminary final still remains high on the list of the most excited, most hyped preliminary finals, just any matches I can remember. And it was one of the first times where you saw the audience and you saw a clear split down the middle of who supports who. It was one of the most graphic visuals I've seen as far as that goes. And Parramatta won 22 points to 12. Number three, speaking of comebacks, the Roosters beat Newcastle in the year 2000 to get into the grand final. They were down 16 points to 2 with half an hour left to play, and the final score was 26 points to 20. So big up on the Roosters in the year 2000. And I've got to pinch one from Proenzo. Being that I live in Canberra, the Canberra hype, living in Canberra towards that preliminary final, everything was lit up lime green. Telstra Tower, Parliament House, bridges. It was all lime green, and when they won, it remained lime green. The city was a buzz, and it was so cool to be a part of. And yeah, me bias might be getting me, but my favourite preliminary final is 2017. I was there at Allianz Stadium that day. If you go and check out highlights of that video, if you can find the highlights, definitely not on YouTube, you will see a blue and yellow striped flag. That's me. That's me waving that flag. It was the best night of football ever, man. So my favorite preliminary final, sure, might be a little biased, but man, what an experience. Cowboys Roosters getting up 29 points to 16, 2017.
Love that game because I won a lot of money on the Cowboys that weekend. To be honest, I won a lot of money when the Cowboys were in the 2017 final series. I won plenty of money, plenty. I'll talk about it on the late night show this week. Excuse me. All right. Good top five. I like it. And I like how you went back in time a little bit, back to 99 and 2000 and all those years.
Yeah, man.
My top 5. So number 5, I'm going to go with the 2014 preliminary final where the Rabbitohs beat the Roosters 32 points to 22. It was the Rabbitohs' first preliminary final win in a very long time, their first grand final in a very long time. And to beat their arch rivals, the Roosters, after being down 12-0 early on, and the performance in that game with the likes of Greg Inglis, Sam Burgess, and Ben Teo was absolutely world class. And, you know, when you're down 12-0 against the team that won the comp the previous year and your biggest rivals, it is a very big ask. So I love that game, 2014, Souths and Roosters. So that's number 5 for me. Number 4 is the 2009 preliminary final between the Bulldogs and the Eels. One of the greatest games I've ever seen. The crowd was incredible. The atmosphere, watching it on TV as a young fella, the second biggest rivalry in the game, Dogs and the Eels. Both teams had each other's guts. The form that year of Jared Hayne, who was the best player in the world. It was an unbelievable game, and the Eels winning 22-12 was incredible. That fairy tale run was unbelievable. So that's number 4 for me. Number 3 is the 2010 preliminary final between the Dragons and the Tigers. This was a great game of football. The Dragons winning 13-12. A Jamie Salford field goal in the 74th minute from 35 metres out or whatever it was. The crowd was huge. The atmosphere looked incredible. It was the Dragons' first grand final in a very long time as well. And, you know, just the way the game was, it was a low-scoring game. It was a tough game of footy, and the Tigers nearly stole it at the end, and then Darius Pauly ran the ball dead. And it was one of the great games of football that I've seen as a young fella growing up, loving the game. So that's number 3 for mine. Number 2, now we're going to get a little bit biased here. The 2017 preliminary final, the Cowboys beating the Roosters 29-16. Going into the game, the Cowboys had to travel to Sydney for the third time in 3 weeks, and they were paying about $4.50 to win the game. I threw some money on the game and won a fair bit back, and the Cowboys winning 13 plus was paying fairly good as well. And back then, I wasn't doing YouTube or anything like that, and I went, oh yeah, Cowboys 13 plus, easy win. And obviously, 13 plus was paying very good, and I won a lot of money that night. I'll talk more about it on the late night show this week, but Cowboys 2017, unbelievable. And number 1, my favorite preliminary final is the 2015 preliminary final, where it was the Storm and the Cowboys in Melbourne. Cowboys making their second grand final, going down to Melbourne after Melbourne had the week off, because if you go back to 2015, Melbourne finished 4th that year. They beat the Roosters in week 1, who came first. Melbourne had the week off. Cowboys had to go the hard road, and they were given absolutely no chance against Melbourne in that game. And half-time was a very tight game, and the Cowboys ended up blowing them off the park. Unbelievable game. Cowboys winning, I think it was 32-12 or something. So that's my favorite preliminary final, and go the fucking Cowboys. That's my top 5. That's my
top 5.
I take 2015 over 2017 because I think 2015 meant a little bit more, because I think we had more of a chance of winning that year than 2017, because, 2017, if we had won, we were going to play fucking Melbourne. And, 2015, it's like we had first and we had everyone fit on deck. 2017, it's like we had a lot of injuries, and everyone knew if we got there, it was going to be hard for us to win it anyway, especially against Melbourne. So 2015 was better for me because I felt like we actually had a chance in that grand final, which we ended up winning, which was great. But 2015 for mine was better because we ended up winning the comp that year. So I love that game, man. I watched that game against Melbourne probably once a month, to be honest. I love it. I love it. And then you got that fuckwit Marika Korobidi throwing a punch at Kyle Felt. Fucking shit. Fuck off Rugby Union, you fucking idiot.
Perwenzo Vids' favourite preliminary final moment is yet to be written, though. It might happen this weekend, mate.
Oh, well, it might.
Fingers crossed.
It might happen, and we will get into it because we got a few things to get into. Obviously, we'll be doing our round of footy preview later on in the show, but let's get into the topics tonight. So we'll start off with topic number 4 now. The Penrith Panthers trainer. He's been handed a $25,000 fine for stopping the game when the Eels had the ball with less than 5 minutes to go. They were on the attack. There was an injury to Mitch Kenny. I think he injured his knee or his ankle. He ain't playing again this week. He probably won't play again this year. He's gone. The trainer's been stood down for the rest of the year. The club's been given a $25,000 fine. I'll start with you, Sam. What are your thoughts on this situation, and should the fine have been more?
Yes, I think the fine should have been more. Don't want trainers to manipulate the rules like that, because the trainer wasn't on the field assessing Mitch Kenny. He apparently, allegedly, whispered in the touch judge's ear, "Stop play." That's not how the rules are written. He should have been on the field assessing Mitch Kenny and been waving, "Please stop the play, please stop the play," and that didn't happen. $25,000 is a soft ass fine for a club, for sure.
Well, I don't normally agree with what Paul Kent says, but what he said the other day was absolutely spot on. He said the Panthers will pull that money out of their ass and they'll do it again, and they probably will. I think a $50,000 fine would have been fair. The trainer's been stood down for the rest of the year. So what? He's going to come back next year and do it again. I mean, I don't think the outcome has been very, very good at all. And yes, we will talk about the Fergo incident as well. Lachlan, I'm only drinking this because Lismore doesn't sell any Cowboy stuff. But Lorenzo, what were your thoughts on the situation, mate?
Well, first of all, I mean, the Panthers trainer should have at least notified the referee from the sideline and tell him to stop the game. Just put his hand up and let him know that someone's down from their team and wants to go over there and pretty much just I guess assess that player. But no, he just ran on the field and didn't give any didn't notify the referee at all. No one knew he was going to run on the field. So yeah, I think that's a very stupid move by the trainer there. But yeah, I mean, I hate Paul Kent. I'll be honest, I really hate the bloke. I've never liked him at all. I've got something against him, but yeah, I think he was right because I was watching him yesterday on Fox, and he definitely had a fair point. So, because I think even if that Panthers trainer comes back next year, there's a good chance he might just do the same thing and get away with it possibly. So, yeah, to go over the fine as well, I think the fine, yeah, I mean, I would have given a bit more, like Nick said, 50. Yeah, that like what Nick said before. I think that the fine he originally received wasn't good enough. I think that's a bigger one. So, yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think it's a concern now because going into this weekend's game against Melbourne, we'll see what happens. Ever since Wayne Bennett has come out and taken a shot at Ivan about whinging, and now the trainer got involved, it seems everything negative is happening every week with Penrith. So it's not a good look for the game. And come on, it's an ankle injury. It's not like a HIA where he's actually knocked out. He's just on the ground in pain. So what? We're all in pain all the time. We've all got some sort of injury going on. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. And I think the fine is a bit soft. 50,000 would have been nice. And a longer suspension, still down for the rest of the year. Are you fucking kidding me? Is that all that's going to happen? It's just ridiculous. And
Nick, can I just add on quickly? I don't think that cost Parramatta the game, though. That's No, I don't think that. I would have bet money that Penrith would have defended that set if the momentum continued on. Yes, I admit that the momentum was halted because of the trainer. But I believe that Penrith would have defended that.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, it's one of those things where I guess we will never know. We will never know.
That's right, too.
We will never know. And I think the NRL need to try and handle this a little bit better because I think the way they've handled this is really, really disappointing. $25,000 fine's not going to really do much. But it's disappointing how the situation has unfolded and, yeah, not good. Well, let's move on to topic number 3 now, which is something that I just want to put my head in the bucket and just stay there for 10 minutes. Justin Olam. He was snubbed from the Dally M Centre of the Year contenders. Then the NRL decided to backflip it and invite Olam to the Dally M, saying that, no, you're now in the top 5 or whatever's going on here. It's an absolute mess. Like I guess the question is, Sam, does the Dally M system need to change?
After this week, mate, yes, it does. You just said just then that the NRL haven't handled one situation properly. This is another situation in the same week where they haven't handled it properly. Justin Olam has been the best centre in the game for season 2021. You've got Stephen Crichton off the top of my head for Penrith Panthers. I'd put Olam over that. I'd put Olam over Stephen Crichton.
Yeah.
I think Olam has been unbelievable, and good on Cameron Munster for shining more of a light on his teammate. He richly deserves just to be nominated, but I think he should win the whole bloody thing as well, mate. I think it's absolutely embarrassing and disgraceful from the NRL to omit and then come out and say, what was it that they said, the NRL? It was a glaring omission or whatever it was. It's a fucking disgrace, man.
They're too embarrassed to admit that they made a mistake. They won't come out and say, "Oh, we're sorry, we should have put him in." Look, the two centers this year who I think have been the best, Justin Olam and Joey Manu, for mine. They've been the two best this year. But, Jesus Christ. Lorenzo, what are your thoughts on this situation?
Well, yeah, I think they said that it was an administrative mistake or something. That's what was said. I read, which I mean, again, they're probably too embarrassed to even come out and admit the mistakes. So that's a bit silly there. But yeah, Justin Olam, I definitely have him for one of the centers of the year. I think there's Joseph Manu, Matt Burton, Crichton, and they're all up there in my opinion for centers of the year. But Justin Olam shits them easily, in my opinion. I mean, I guess, yeah, Manu or Olam, I think they're both probably centers of the year. But yeah, I don't know. To leave Olam out of that conversation is a bit disrespectful in my opinion, because look how good he's been this year. I think he's been a big part of why Storm have been so successful this year. And yeah, I mean, good on Cameron Munster for, I guess on his Insta story for calling it out, making some sort of point about why he was left out and, how it's a mistake. And yeah, I think the system does need a bit of a change, because it's obviously ridiculous how it's been working, and not many people are happy at all.
It's a fucking joke, and it just needs to be absolutely blown up. Blow it up and restart it. It needs a rebuild. It's simple as that. Look, we are bagging the NRL for these mistakes, but we want them to get it right. That's why we bag it. That's why we criticize it, because we want it to be right. We want the people to actually go, okay, this guy's been the best center all year. That's a great decision. But if you choose someone else, you choose this bloke, you go, whoa, hang on a minute. That guy wasn't better than this guy. And then it just comes down to opinions. And it's just a joke, man. Honestly, I'm really disappointed with what has happened here. I think when the NRL called Justin Olam back and said, "Oh, no, we're sorry, we're inviting you." If I was Justin Olam, I would have said, "Go get yourself fucked." I would have said, "Fuck you now. They embarrassed the shit out of Justin Olam now. They took the piss out of him. They've really embarrassed him over this. This is so disappointing for, someone like Justin Olam, who's from Papua New Guinea. He has a fantastic story. He has done so much. He's done so well to get into the NRL, and obviously going into that Melbourne Storm system obviously helps that as well. But, for all the stuff that Justin Olam's been through his whole career, to be treated like that, I think it's absolutely disgraceful, and I think it's really, really disappointing from the likes of Volandis, the people that are, doing the Daily M voting every week. It's just not good enough. And, good on Justin Olam for being so humble and appreciating that he's going to be now involved next Monday night when they have the Daily M Awards. But the way the situation's been handled is just disgusting, and I feel so sorry for him. I really do.
Yeah,
just because he's been invited doesn't mean he's now going to win it anyway. It's just a soft handout to him. It's awful what the NRL did to Justin Olam this year, man. It's probably the biggest controversy I can remember as far as Daly M's go, and not getting
If he doesn't win Centre of the Year, if he doesn't win Centre of the Year with Joey Manu or Matt Burton or Dane Gagai or whoever the fuck's in the category for Centre of the Year, mate, you think the protesters in Melbourne about at the moment of all the workers? There'll be a fucking protest of Melbourne Storm jerseys and purple walking across the bridge, all for Centre of the Year. There'll be a fucking strike and all. It'll be protest. It'll be crazy. You think the construction workers are bad? Fuck me. You wait until Justin Olam doesn't win Centre of the Year. There'll be protesters everywhere. It'd be worse than the construction workers. There'd be thousands of them. That'd be everywhere.
Mate, don't get me started. Don't get me
Yeah, I
started
know,
on
I
what's
don't wanna
going
get
down
into
in
it.
Melbourne. Oh,
I
man.
want to talk about it.
ridiculous.
Dodge that.
All Brisbane Broncos in the chat says legit for Sam Revel was Andy Raymond.
Thanks always, Brisbane Broncos. I'll take it.
Andy Raymond. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know.
Got as much hair as
Oh
him.
well.
You do have a bald head, so maybe
None.
that's why. I don't know. I don't have a fucking clue. Nick should do a run if Olam doesn't win. Well, the corner post will be happening tomorrow night, so stay tuned for that. There'll be rants on a few other things, but
Is it next Tuesday night too for the Dally M's? Next Tuesday or Monday?
Monday.
Thank you.
Monday night.
Okay.
Once it finishes, I'll be doing a live review like I did the other night. But I think it'll be more popular this time because the Dally M will be revealed, the positions of the year will be revealed, and all
Well,
that.
something's actually happening.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Exactly. And before we move on, we gotta mention it.
Yes, sir.
The Dally M having it on 2 Mondays back-to-back weeks, terrible idea. They've got to can that. That was disgusting.
Fuck that.
What do you think about it, Lorenzo?
There's no need. Like, what's the need? I mean, what? It's basically, put it all together because this is not how it's always been. Because I feel like it's been better in the past. I mean, why not just have it all in one night? I mean, what's the point of having 2 nights? I mean, it just makes no sense in my opinions. I mean, basically the first night's basically some sort of cash grab. The first night, then the next night. Yeah, then the next Monday is just makes no sense. Put it that way, makes no sense.
Sam, what do you think about it? Did you even watch it?
No, I skip through it, and I mostly listened to your podcast with Lorenzo the other night as well. It just kills the mystery when you announce that only 5 players are sort of essentially in the running for it. It just kills the mystery of what could happen, because I thought for the longest time that James Fisher-Harris was a shot of at least being in the top 5 come the end of the year sort of thing. So it just kills all sort of mystery.
He did miss 6 weeks, though, which probably cost him.
Yeah, true. But Jerome Hughes, for example, as well, was in the mix, I saw. So, no, send it back to one night. I mean, this is probably all happening because of what's happening around the planet at the moment. And they're just doing some experiments, and I don't think it will be back to this sort of style next year. Well, hopefully not anyway. Back to one night.
It's pretty simple. They could have just had it at Suncorp Stadium at night time. They could have had a stage in the middle of the ground. Everyone could have had a seat on the ground. They could have set up a stage, whatever, and they could have had the live music. They could have had social distancing, blah, blah,
Loved
blah.
your idea of it being at Suncorp Stadium.
Yeah,
Loved that idea.
Why not? It makes more sense. Makes more fucking sense. And you can have people attend it, but obviously social distancing and all that in Queensland, and just have it like they do in Sydney. Have people have the players seated out on the ground with chairs, tables around them, fucking blah, blah, blah. It just would have been a much better have it in one night. Have a 2-hour show if you have to. Just get it done in one night. You don't need to have it for fucking 2 weeks. It's so stupid. So fucking stupid.
Because all Monday night was all it was showing 5 players video vignettes for 1 hour basically, and then interviewing them. Nah, that's what a waste of time.
And let's talk about this before we move on. Now, I'm going to get really fired up about this. When they were doing the top 5 players that are nominated for the Dally M, I think the list was okay. Hang on, let me find it. Where is it? Here it is. So the top 5 players nominated for the Dally M. This would have been a lot easier. They got Nathan Cleary, Cody Walker, Turbo, Teddy, DCE. What about the Fox League fucking promo for DCE, what they said?
Yes, I saw that.
They compared DCE to Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Cristiano Ronaldo in clutch moments. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
It's a bit of a stretch.
That might be the most disrespectful fucking thing I've ever fucking seen in my fucking life. I can't name many players that has played the game you can compare to that fucking level. Are you fucking kidding me?
Joey
You're
Johns, Cooper
going to
Cronk.
compare DCE in clutch moment situations to fucking Cristiano Ronaldo, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant. Are you fucking joking me, cunt? That made me so fucking angry the other night. I literally started losing it.
Yeah, his tyres were pumped up a fair bit, wasn't it?
Always Broncos in the chat says that it ruined his day. I don't fucking blame you. It fucking pissed me off. It fucking pissed me right off. I'm still fucking mad I did that. The audacity to fucking compare DCE to that.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
I'm going to be honest here, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm going to probably. DCE wouldn't even be in the top 3 halfbacks this year. I'm not even joking. I would have Jerome Hughes, Adam Reynolds, and Nathan Cleary over DCE. I would rank DCE as the 4th best halfback in the game this year.
I think between Adam Reynolds and DC is debatable. I think they're 50,
that's very close. They're very close.
I mean, there's not much there's not much difference between the two players. I think they're pretty similar in terms of many things. I feel like, but yeah, it's not much of a difference.
Like you have a look at it. Nathan Cleary and Jerome Hughes have had a better year than DCE. If anyone doesn't think that's the case, I think you're off your head. Reynolds, Daly Cherry Evans and Adam Reynolds are very, very close. I put up a poll on my Instagram this morning, and I said, who is more clutch, DCE or Adam Reynolds? Majority of the people have voted for Adam Reynolds. Now, that doesn't mean he's more clutch. It's just what people are thinking. It's what the fans are saying. But I think DCE to even be in the top 5 for Dally M's have been surprised. Where the fuck's Jerome Hughes or Nico Hines? Melbourne have dominated so much this year. Not one player theirs is in the top 5.
Yeah,
really?
It's strange. Yeah,
I don't understand that. I don't get it. But if I ever hear anyone compare DCE in clutch moments to Ronaldo, Brady, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant ever again, I am going to fucking snap. Big time. I'll probably put my fist through a fan. Live on YouTube, the corner post. Nick from Australia smashes shit. It'll be in the fucking. It'll be in the title. But anyway, let's move on before I fucking lose it. Let's move on before I do something really bad, and I'll say something I regret. Right. Let's move on to the next topic, which is topic number 2. West Tigers head coach Michael Maguire somehow, some way saves his job. He somehow convinced the board and that fucking loser Justin Pascoe to keep his job. I think Michael Maguire is a very, very lucky man. Should he have kept his job though? I'll start with you, Sam. Should he have kept his job, or should he have been sacked?
So from what I understand is that when players go on holiday, they are not allowed to be contacted by that club. I would think that the same can be said for coaches, assistant coaches. Michael Maguire was on holiday somewhere with his family on Monday, and the West Tigers got into the offices and started scurrying around like rats thinking we should just catapult the bloke while he's out on holiday. But someone must have bumped their head into the side of a door and said, that's going to look really bad on us if we do that. And then that's why I believe, it might be a bit of a conspiracy theory, but that's why I believe that they were fucking about on Monday, and then they finally came out on Tuesday and put things right, because he deserved another year with the club. He deserved to work with Tim Sheens and work with Jackson Hastings. And again, I think he was the one who was responsible for signing Hastings to the West Tigers. Yep. So, yeah, man, West Tigers, mate. There are some people out there watching this now that do support West Tigers. The club's a basket case, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel for the foreseeable future, man.
I think there is a little bit of light still there, but Jesus Christ, there isn't much. There isn't much there. Lorenzo, should Madge have been sacked, or do you think he deserves to start at least the first half of next year?
I mean, just keep him. I think he's not the issue. It's definitely the squad. I mean, me and Sam were talking about this on the Ankle Breaker podcast and my channel, and we're going through it. And I was saying, like, I think it's not Madge's fault at all, because Madge has obviously proven himself as a good coach before. And, he's won a premiership at South Sydney. He's done many good things. Like, we know he's done many good things. He's obviously a very hard nosed coach with a lot of he's a very structured sort of coach, Madge, and obviously the players he has and the squad doesn't really want to play that sort of footy under him. So maybe it's just that he doesn't have the right squad. I mean, it's not fair, because I think Maguire had to walk into a squad where Ivan Cleary previously was at, and he kind of made a mess with overpaying Russell Packer, Zembai, and all that. And that prevented Michael Maguire from making a full rebuild of that Tigers team, because obviously Madge would want to sign his own players, but couldn't because of the big money that some of those particular players are on. So that doesn't help. But yeah, the Tigers board, I don't know why they'd even consider sacking him anyway, because, I mean, what's it called? Justin Pascoe, ever since he's joined the club, he's been terrible. Justin Pascoe, he's definitely a joke, and he's definitely he's a myth. I think he's an absolute liar. And that Lee Hanger-Patelis, I think he's also got no idea. He's also another dumbfounded character. So yeah, it's not good. The back room's not good for the Tigers. I'm glad they're keeping Madge, because I think Madge is the right call to keep. But there's just not much positives. Seriously,
I want the West Tigers to do well, but I'm going to say this, and I am going to be very, very honest, and it may offend Tigers fans out there, but the West Tigers have no fucking balls. They don't have any fucking balls whatsoever. They don't have the guts to move on Luke Brooks. They don't have the guts to sign big-name players. They don't know how to attract big-name players. They have absolutely no idea what they're doing. The culture at the club is a fucking disease. It's like walking into a COVID-19 hotspot and playing for a team in that area. It's a fucking mess. It's absolutely fucked. It's like walking into a fucking place with someone sneezing and you go out the other fucking door. How many players have they let go over the years? How many times have they failed? When was their last finals appearance? Oh, that's right. It was 2011. That is fucking fucked. For a club like the Tigers, they have so many great things about them. They've got Leichhardt Oval. They've got Campbelltown. They've got legends like Robbie Farah, Benji Marshall, even the late Tommy Radonicus. I've got so many great players I've had over the years. But I'm sorry to say this, but they always talk about moving a team out of Sydney. Well, if any team's ever going to get moved out of Sydney or relocated, it will be the West Tigers. I'm sorry. Their money situation isn't great. I love the Tigers. I want them to do well. I want them to be in the finals. I want them to be very competitive. The Tigers need to be a good side. Hell, I even said before, top 5 preliminary final games I've seen, Tigers were involved against the Dragons. How good was that? And it's so fucking disappointing for them to just fail year after year. And it's just not good enough. So I think Justin Pascoe and the board need to sack themselves. The Tigers need new administration. If they had got rid of Michael Maguire, then the guys that Madge recruited, likes of Jackson Hastings and Oliver Gildard, they might have just went, well, we went here to play under Madge, and now you're getting rid of him. That could have backflipped. I went, oh, fuck yous. I'm not coming now. Fuck you. I'm backflipping. You got rid of the coach that we're going to, the coach that wanted us. Get fucked. That's what could have happened. So it's an absolute mess, the Tigers, and I hope things get better for them soon. I think they're going – there are some positives. Like I think Stefano's a player to build around. Luciani Leilua, a good player to build around. Adam Dewey, Jackson Hastings, Dane Laurie, Nofaluma. But outside of that, I think everything else is just dead space.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
There are certainly bones of a good side there, but they're still a couple of years away from playing finals. And my dad is a Western Suburbs Magpie supporter. He had to live through the merger, and man, every second time I see him, he's just embarrassed and he's in pain, man. You know,
I don't blame
10 years and counting. Don't blame him at all, man. It's embarrassing. They're a basket case, West Tigers.
Not good
Now, I
enough.
think Jackson Hastings is going to be a very, very big signing for him. I think it's a blockbuster signing. But the problem is you're going to need more than Hastings to get that side into the top eight. I think Hastings can really, make that team a lot better. He can direct them a lot better than what Luke Brooks has done. And I think he can make that side a better team. And Hastings has played a lot of games this year at fullback, and he can play hooker, but he's a halfback. He's an out-and-out halfback. He's a quality halfback. So you got to play him at 7, and whoever plays at 6 is going to have to do a great job. So looking forward to seeing what the Tigers do next year, but they got to get rid of that Justin Pascoe and get rid of the administration. Until then,
the tales of Tiger Town, mate.
What a waste of time that was.
Oh my God! Everyone is just going to have the biggest laugh about that throughout the off season. They're going to sit back. Someone will, and they'll rewatch it and go, all these implementations they tried to achieve, or these goals they tried to achieve, just didn't come to fruition. And it was so graphic against the Melbourne Storm that they just were simply on holiday during that game, man. 66-16, man. Fair dinkum. Tales of Tiger Town, fucking embarrassing.
I mean, to be honest, I enjoyed Tales of Tiger Town. I thought it was great, but just every week it was like the same thing, and I'm going, nah, man. Something's going to change with this Tiger Town shit. It just doesn't work. But look, I think Hastings is going to be a great signing for them, but they need more than Hastings. That's the thing. I'm a big fan of Hastings. I watch him in the Super League every week, and I know what he can do. So I expect big things from Hastings, but the thing is as well with Hastings going to the Tigers next year, don't expect him to come into that team and make them a top 8 side because it's just not going to happen. It's going to be rebuilding, and
he needs time.
They need time, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next year. But hopefully they can get better. But at the moment, it's just going to be the same old shit. I think with the Tigers. Right, let's move on to the next topic. But before we do, I've got some very big news. Brad Parker has been ruled out for the Seagulls against the Rabbitohs Friday night. Brad Parker is out, injured, gone. He has an injury. Lorenzo, you told me this on last Friday night. You said Brad Parker was injured and you're surprised he kept playing. And I said, yeah, me too. Well, you were on the ball, mate. He is out. Moses Suli will be playing.
Yeah, well, he had like a broken or fractured hand, I'm pretty sure, because just when the first half was about to end, I think when he came in the second half, his arm was all strapped up, so obviously he did something bad there. So yeah, I think we'll miss him, but Moses Suli better play well. He better play well, Suli. I mean, I won't be happy if he won't, because his defense is going to be very worrying in my opinion. I'm worried about his defense. His attack's good, but defense I'm worried about.
Proenzo, man, if he plays like anything like he did against the Canberra Raiders, man. Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, Nick, I think you would prefer Suli over Parker, don't you?
Oh, we all do. But Parker
makes me feel more confident in going for Manly.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I don't know.
Look, here's the thing. You're not going to get Brad Parker's defense, but you're going to have more attack on that left side now with Foran and Schuster. Mate, Brad Parker is a bit of a loss in defense, but here's the thing. Moses Suli unleashed the beast. Finally. Good on you, Des. Can't wait to see Moses Suli Friday night. Hope Brad Parker gets better soon. Obviously, that injury is a big, big blow. But I think Suli is going to explode. He's up against Campbell Graham. So, good matchup. Campbell Graham might want to get his shoulders ready because last time Moses Suli played in the finals game against the Bunnies, it was up against Dane Gagai, and he absolutely destroyed him. So, Des Hasler, unleash the beast, Moses Suli, Friday night. Looking forward to it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Now, let's move on to the last topic, which is a bit of a negative one. So, topic number 1. So, this weekend, it's Melbourne versus Penrith in the preliminary final. Last year's grand final is in the prelim this year. It's Melbourne versus Penrith, and NRL referee Jared Sutton is going to be officiating the game. But here's the catch. Jared Sutton's brother, Bernard Sutton, He works with the Melbourne Storm as a consultant or something, a bit like what Gavin Badger does at the West Tigers. Should Jared Sutton be refereeing a Melbourne Storm preliminary final while his brother Bernard is working with Melbourne? Sounds like a bit of bias towards Penrith. I am very, very strongly against this. I don't like it one bit. I'll start with you, Sam. What do you think about this?
When Jared Sutton's Bernard got into power as head of the referees a couple of years ago, there was already a rift, but with his injection, referees dropped out, complained. It was drama inside the refereeing coaching ranks, and there was unfortunately reports and whispers of bias. I know I spoke about a conspiracy theory 5 minutes ago, mate, but I mean, I know I don't like it. No, I think Jared Sutton should just about never referee a Melbourne Storm game ever again. It's kind of scary because Bernard Sutton will be going in with his secrets that he's learned over the past couple of years, trying to help out the Melbourne Storm, and that's the club that doesn't really need any more help. It's kind of scary, man. It actually is, and it might be stupid to hear and say, but it is kind of scary that the ex-referee's boss is now helping out the Melbourne Storm, and the referees or the ex-referee's boss is refereeing this game this Saturday night. So, yeah, watch this space, mate.
The best way I can, the best way I can compare it is, imagine if Always Brisbane Broncos is working for the Broncos as a general manager or something, but I'm his brother and I'm the referee of a Broncos game in a final. That just doesn't sit right with me at all. Does not sit right with me whatsoever. It's like, Sam, if you're at work, you're the boss, but your brother can choose whatever shift he wants to do and you approve it every time. It's just not fair, and this is absolutely ridiculous, man. And for Jared Sutton to be refereeing the Melbourne versus Penrith game, and his brother Bernard works with Melbourne as a consultant, it just isn't fair. Who's to say Bernard Sutton won't call Jared and say, mate, can you give us a couple of calls? Can you keep it quiet and all this? We don't know what the fuck they talk about behind the scenes. We don't know what they're doing. I think it's bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. Lorenzo, what are your thoughts on it? And Sam just cut out. Hang on. You're back, Sam.
Yeah,
there you go. All good, bro. All good. It was only a 5-second delay. Big deal. Lorenzo, what are your thoughts on it, bro? What do you think about it?
It's fucked, because I think I think the thing is it's gonna obviously be a biased call during the game. I feel like Jared Sutton, when he's refereeing the Melbourne and Penrith game on Saturday, I think there's going to be a call that's going to piss a lot of people off. That'll obviously be favourable to the Storm, and it's going to be really unfair to Panthers. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's going to be there's going to be a bad call. I'm telling you right now, there is going to be a bad call during the game. I feel like with this whole Storm Penrith thing. I mean, no doubt. I mean, it's not going to be good, eh? So. I think, it's fucked, and I think it's gonna piss a lot of people off, and it already has, and yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Mate, I'm very worried, man. Look, I said it in the corner post a couple of weeks ago. I said when Melbourne beat Manly, I said Jared Sutton fucking better not be refereeing that preliminary final, and it's happened. My nightmares come true. My biggest concern has happened, and look, I don't know, man. Look, the Panthers have been whinging about referees for weeks now, and we all know that. And I know a lot of people want Penrith to lose so they can shut up and all that. But even the majority of the rugby league community have to see this and just be like, you can't allow a referee whose brother works for the club going into the game. It's not right. It's just not right at all. So, but hey, here's the other thing as well. Jared Sutton will probably get the grand final as well. So whoever gets into the grand final, if Melbourne get through, mate, it'll be a 12-2 penalty count against the other team. I think it's ridiculous. It doesn't matter, man. Like, I think it's a pretty even matchup between Melbourne and Penrith. personally. I know Penrith look tired, but I think it's a decent matchup, and I think it's ridiculous. I hope it doesn't. Hope there's no robbery. I really hope.
Bring back Matt Chicken. Bring back Matt Chicken.
I wish I'd bring Matt Chicken back. Even Gavin Badger, get him back out there, but he's fucking left now. There's not many good referees out there. Although the one referee I didn't mind, I think it was last round of the season, Broncos and Knights. What's his name? Ziggy, I think his name was.
Yeah.
He refereed the Broncos Knights game. He did a great job. I actually didn't mind him. I think he's a referee of the future, potentially. Ziggy, I can't pronounce his fucking name. Ziggy something, but he's one that I will keep an eye on because I think he's all right. He doesn't take shit. All right. Let's get into the round of 40, lads. Preliminary final round. How good is it? The winners of each game go to the 2021 grand final. Let's get into it. Friday night, Suncorp Stadium, kicking off at 7:50 p.m., probably 8 o'clock, knowing the coverage from Fox and Channel 9. It's the Rabbitohs versus the Seagulls. The Rabbitohs are $1.75 favourites, Manly at $2.10. What a game this is going to be on Friday night. I cannot wait for it. Couple of ins and outs. So South's not really anything to change here. Tane Milne is in the reserves. He could replace Jackson Paulo late in the game potentially, but I think Wayne would keep Paulo there unless there's a late injury. As for the Seagulls, though, obviously Brad Parker has been ruled out. So the beast Moses Sully will be there in the left centre position. I think Sipley could be a late in for Kyle Lawton, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what Des has up his sleeve there. South versus Manly, what a game it's going to be on Friday night. Winner goes to the grand final. Let's go to Lorenzo first, mate. South and Manly, mate. Give us a margin and an anytime try score and a man the match.
Yeah, look, I'll back my boys. You know, it's my team. Go back in big moments, of course. I mean, everyone's going to go South 13 plus or whatever. But, you know, I'm backing my team. I think we're a good chance to win on, Friday. I think we can do it. South might have more experience than Manly in finals, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. I feel like Manly are playing with a lot of confidence. We've got the best player in the world, Tommy Turbo, and he shits on Blake's half every day of the week. So it's going to be a good game, I think. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think Manly will win 22 points to 16 by 6 points. And anytime try scorer, I'll back in Tom for a try. And I think Olakawar to also crash over.
Who do you think will be man the match, bro?
I reckon it's gonna be Kieran Foran or Tom Trbojevic. I think between them two.
I like it. I think that's a very, very good prediction. And Turbo's the best player in the game, so we all know he will be on. We all know that. I can't wait for this game. I cannot fucking wait. Sam, who wins? Give us a margin and a try scorer and man the match.
Yeah, South Sydney to win 17 points to 10. I've got Adam Reynolds as a field goal scorer and Cameron Murray as an anytime try scorer. I can't see Wayne Bennett and Adam Reynolds losing this game, or I can't see the Rabbitohs losing 4 preliminary finals in a row. I think they'll do it. I think they'll finally crack that duck out and make the grand final on Friday night.
Man the match? Who do you reckon?
I think Adam Reynolds and Cody Walker. I think Adam Reynolds, mate, just because there's so much on the line. I think he'll stand up and slot that field goal, as well, mate. So Adam Reynolds, man of the match.
I like it. I think it's going to be a great game. My prediction, it's so hard to pick because personally, I think the winner of this game will win the premiership. Look, I think Manly will win the comp, but if South win this, I think South will win it. So look, I think Manly will win. I think it will be a very close game. I can see plenty of points here. I think obviously the defense will be the main part for both sides, but both sides have got so much attack in them. I can see it being a high-scoring game. So I'm going to go the Manly Seagulls here. I'm going to go Manly by 4, 24 points to 20. I'm going to go first try scorer. I'm going to go Alex Johnson from the Rabbitohs. Anytime try scorer, I'm going to go with Tom Trbojevic. And man the match, I think Tommy Turbo will stand up and prove why he is the best player in the world. I think Turbo will be man the match. Manly to win. Great game. I can't wait for Cherry Evans versus Reynolds, Walker versus Foreign. You know, so many good matchups in this game. I cannot wait for this game on Friday night. It's going to be an absolute blockbuster. Cannot wait. Let's
Could
move
be
on to the other game. What's
Could
that?
be Benji Marshall's last ever game as well, mate.
It could be.
Potentially.
Yeah, true.
It could be as well, which just, it could be. And Martin Tapau could be his last game as well for Manly. That's
Yeah.
another
No, it
one.
won't be. But anyway.
It won't be, yeah. Curtis Sheridan as well. Curtis Sheridan could be.
Yeah.
We'll see anyway. I can't wait for this game. Anyway, let's move on to the other preliminary final, which is on Saturday afternoon, kicking off at 4 o'clock up there at Suncorp Stadium. It is the Melbourne Storm up against the Penrith Panthers. Last year's grand final is going to be in the preliminary final this year, which is going to be absolutely outstanding. It'll be a nice warm day up there at Suncorp Stadium. Dry track. Should be a cracker. Melbourne and Penrith. Melbourne, they are favourites at $1.30. Penrith at $3.50. Very, very nice odds for Penrith. Not bad at all. Don't mind that one bit. The ins and outs real quick. For Melbourne, Josh Adokar is back for the Melbourne Storm. So that means Isaac Lumi goes into the reserves. Tom Eisenhuth will probably be the 18th man for the Storm as he's been this year. As for Penrith, Brian Toto is in the reserves, but from what I understand, he is on track to be fit and ready to go on Saturday. I believe Brian Toto will play. And Tyrone May replaces Mitch Kenny, who's out injured. This is a big game. Melbourne versus Penrith, a very, very big game. Sam, who wins this game on Saturday afternoon? Give us a margin, try scorer, and man the match.
I think it'll be very competitive for about 50-odd minutes, and I think Melbourne Storm will run away with it, and the Storm will beat Penrith 28 points to 12. Yes, Brian Toto is firming as a chance to replace Brent Naden, but in any event, I can see Jerome Hughes slicing through, targeting Matt Burton and Brett Naden or Brian Toto, and I can see him scoring a try. And I think Brandon Smith will be the man of the match. He'll come in and just destroy it. Josh Adokar will be fresh as a daisy. And Penrith, mate, they're just battered, and it'll be interesting to see who wins, not just because who gets in the grand final, but for me, this will solidify if players should be rested in the final round of the season, or how's the mind frame for clubs who have that week off and then come out and play in that preliminary final. So this will be a fascinating game, mate. But I'll go Melbourne Storm to win 13+.
Man the match, who do you reckon?
Brendan Smith.
Brendan Smith, yeah, that's a good tip. All right, Pro Enzo Vids, Melbourne Penrith, try scorer, margin, and man the match. What do you reckon, brother?
Seriously, anyone but Melbourne. Seriously, come on, man. Like anyone but Melbourne. I mean, like I want to see Penrith, no doubt. I hope Panthers, get the win, but it won't happen. Storm will probably be a bit too good because the week off will benefit them probably more. And obviously Panthers are going to come off a very gritty and very fatigued sort of game against the Eels last week. So I feel like just with Storm, I can't see them choking, even though they have a good history of choking, and hopefully it happens again. But probably won't. And probably Storm win, unfortunately. So Storm to win 30-18 by 12 points, and anytime try scorer, Josh Adokar, I think.
Man the match, who do you reckon?
I'll probably Jerome Hughes. I think Jerome Hughes will be the guy who kind of steers him to the win, to be honest. I think he will have a good game.
I'll tell you what, boys. I reckon it's going to happen. The choke tag is going to happen.
Fingers crossed.
Melbourne will choke.
Hope so.
Penrith will win. I guarantee it. The Panthers will beat the Storm. I believe the Panthers' young players can stand up. I think the referee bullshit is going to be against them. I don't know what's going to happen on Saturday afternoon. A lot can happen. I believe the Panthers train will continue. they will do this. I believe the Panthers win 1-12. It's going to be a very tight game. The Melbourne Storm are going to be doing this. They're going to be choking on Saturday afternoon. I cannot wait to see it. I believe the Panthers will win. I'm going to go the Panthers by 2. Real low-scoring game. I'm going to go the Panthers 14 points to 12. I believe it'll be a low-scoring game. Penrith's defense will be on point, I think. I think they can win 14-12, low-scoring game. First try scorer, like I said in my tipping video, I think Brian Tyler will play. I think he'll be able to score the first try of the game. And anytime try scorer, I think Justin Olam can score a try. Obviously, he'll be a little bit pissed off about what happened during the week. So I think Olam will score a try at any stage. And man the match, well, I think he will overcome his demons from the grand final last year. I believe Nathan Cleary will lead the Panthers to the grand final, and he'll be man the match. Panthers will win this, and I think it will be a massive upset. Manly Panthers grand final. Me and Paddy G predicted it on before the final started, and I have no reason to back out of it now. So I'm going the Panthers to beat the Storm. Before we go, I have some more breaking news, and it's fucking massive. Peter Bedell is reporting this. Jamal Fogarty is set to join the Canberra Raiders.
Wow, fuck me.
Oh, that's great for Canberra.
On Instagram. I just seen it right now as we speak. Look at this. Jamal Fogarty is set to make a shock departure from the Titans to go to the fucking Raiders. I cannot believe what I have seen. The Gold Coast Titans, they just got rid of Ash Failure. They've got Toby Sexton there. I mean, I don't want to be rude in giving out early predictions. If I get rid of Jamal Fogarty, if they think Jaden Campbell, Brimson, and Sexton is going to be enough for the finals next year, they are off their rocket. This is absolutely massive.
Brimson and Sexton as a halves combination next year with Campbell at fullback. Man, that's going to take time to gel. And Fogarty, I mean, Aiden Caesar was a Gold Coast Titan and he went down to Canberra. And now Fogarty's gone from Gold Coast down to Canberra. I think he's a perfect foil for Jack Whiten, though, Jamal Fogarty. He's exactly what Canberra needed. That's huge.
Yeah.
So this is what it says from Peter Bedell. Jamal Fogarty is set to make a shock departure from the Titans, with the Raiders keen to sign the Gold Coast co-captain. Now, this is very, very big. Now, if it happens, Titans' top 8 chances next year are absolutely fucked. I'm sorry, but they're fucked.
I mean, it's too early to call that. But yeah, no, Toby Sexton's just so young. Brimson really hasn't played much 5'8", if any at all. Parenzo, mate, go ahead. That's fucking massive, man.
Yeah, it's good for Canberra, actually. I mean, I was like, Canberra will probably finish bottom 4 next year if they don't have a marquee sort of half, and now they do, so that does help. And it definitely does.
If it happens.
Yeah, if it happens, of course, but it helps them if it does. And I think it's a great signing for the club. I think he's going to be good for Jack White. I mean, it's going to take a lot of pressure off Jack White. And that's one thing for sure. So yeah, it's a good pickup for Canberra, but not good for the Titans.
Mate, this is really, really big. I'm just saying on Twitter, if there's any other talk about it, I'm just having a quick look as we speak on Twitter. Yeah, they do have Tanner Boyd there as well. Actually, Joey, good call in the chat. I met Tanner Boyd last year. I think he's a player of the future, but not right now. He can't be coming in there and changing the way things go about their business.
He's been around for a long time, Tanner Boyd.
You can't expect him to come in there and just fucking, I'm just having a look on Twitter. Give me 1 sec. I'm very surprised about this. The Rugby League Guru posted it, so it's big news.
Yep. Man, Josh Hodgson would be bloody looking forward to linking up with Jamal Fogarty as well, mate. That's the thing, man. There's so many people that get on and ask, what do you think is going to happen next year? Way too early, man. That signing, if it comes true, it's a game changer for Canberra next season, mate.
Are they trying to free up more cap space and buy someone big? Because
Brandon Smith at Gold Coast, maybe?
well, they apparently have about $1 million in the cap. I was talking to BKR Sport about it, and he told me the Titans have got about $1 million in the cap. And if they're getting rid of Fogarty, I mean, who are they trying to sign? Are they trying to sign a bigger name? Are they going to throw money at Cody Walker or someone? Like, what are they doing? I mean, have a
I
look
think
at
they
this
need a
on Twitter.
hooker.
Yeah, I
There it
saw
is.
that. Yeah.
Peter Bedell
Yep.
on Twitter. And I believe Brent Reed's also reporting it as well. I'm just making sure.
Struck me pink.
Bruh, that caught me off guard. I did not expect to see that.
Yeah, that's massive, eh?
Yeah, there it is. It's been reported everywhere. And I'll tell you, look, it's too early to call. We don't know what's going to happen. But if they let go of Fogarty, like I said before, if they think Jaden Campbell, Brimson, and Sexton, and Aaron Clark, if they think that spine is going to be enough for top 8, they're off their fucking rocket. There is no way that's happening.
Too
They're going
inexperienced.
to need a very good half to replace Jamal Fogarty with. Now, is there any halfbacks that are coming off contract at the moment that are big names? Can anyone think of anyone?
Mitchell Pearce, he could be
Pearce.
nabbed.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Hang on, let me have a look at teams. Hang on, let me have a look. Halfbacks. Matt Moylan? They won't buy Matt Moylan.
No, I don't
No.
think so.
No.
Who else is there? Dylan Brown?
Mm,
That doesn't make much sense. To buy Dylan
yeah,
Brown.
can't
Who else
see
is
it.
there?
I don't have the
There
ability
isn't
to-
many out there. What, Kyle Flanagan, Luke Brooks? There isn't really many out there. I don't really know. But fuck if I know. Sean Sullivan as well. Ha! Paddy G in the chat. Sorry, boys, but it's time I announced that I have signed a multi-million-dollar deal for the Titans. Fuck off, Paddy G.
Where would he play? Prop edge forward.
I don't know. Yeah, Paddy G, I thought you were a forward, bro. What do you mean you're moving to the halves?
Us. Yeah, mate.
Is he trying to be Wade Graham or something? Just go from a forward to a half.
I must think it's D3.
Chris Lewis style. He goes from back row to fucking 5'8" or something.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
I don't know, man. But fuck me. Jamal
Breaking
Fogarty,
news on the Breakdown podcast, bro.
Nothing better.
Yes.
first it was
nothing
Brad
better.
Parker going ruled out for Moses Suli.
Yeah.
Now it's Jamal Fogarty to the Raiders. I mean, fuck
You
me.
did it.
I don't know, man. Are the Titans blaming Fogarty for that final loss to the Roosters or something? I mean, fuck me. What's
Can't
going
do
on?
that.
I don't know.
Can't do that,
Unbelievable. But anyway, guys, that might do it for the show tonight. I hope you guys had a good time. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Go and check out Sam and Pro Enzo Vids' YouTube channel. Excuse me, I've got the fucking hiccups now. Much appreciated everyone that tuned in tonight. I hope you've had a good time. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, lads. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Corner Post. Till then, stay safe, take care of yourself. See you later, lads.
See you, chat. See you, Sam.
Thanks for having me, Nick. Thanks, chat. Thanks, Lorenzo. Adios.
Have a good night, lads. Love yous. And I'll see you next time. Bow down to Luther King.